Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Thomas back at you with another video. And today I think I have somewhat of an investment gem here for you guys. I've been doing my research on this stock as of recently, and I think we can expect a really big boost in it. I think if we start getting investments into it now, there could be substantial returns. Now, this fund that I'm talking about is Novavax. Now, they recently just came out with another COVID-19 vaccine, and I want to kind of walk you guys through what it's been doing over the past year or so and why I think we can expect something very dramatic from this to come. Okay, so I pulled up the stock chart here and I kind of did the patterns so that you guys wouldn't have to. But there's several spots in here that I do want to point out. And I think that, if we go over these, we can expect some very promising results. Okay, so I want to start off over here, and my bubbles are off just a little bit, but the part I want to point out here is June the 6th, and this is when they announced that they would be doing a new type of vaccine. So up to this point, there wasn't a variety in the vaccines, I guess. There was Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson working on their vaccines, and they were a specific type. And I don't plan to get into the exact data of it. I will link all of these articles for you guys to look through if you want to. But as Insider points out, Novavax's stock price started 2020 at about $4 a share, and it jumped. And in February, trading at more than $300 a share, and closing last week at 209.68. So almost $210. So it started way down here at $4 and it jumped up right here to 45. And now it's sitting at about 207.71. So like I said, in June, it announced that it would be working on a vaccine, and it would introduce that it'd be working on a different type of vaccine. So the Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, and Pfizer were working on one specific type, but they decided to work on a different one. And so that's where this first spike comes in, and the price kind of kicks up. And you have to remember, this is kind of a point where everybody's kind of in the not so great feelings of COVID, and we're looking for a new investment type. And so this was an optimal time for them. Now, on August 3rd, this is where it peaked. On August 3rd, they announced the phase 1 results of what had been going on with their vaccine. And so, there's a whole list right here. I will link this so you guys can read through it. But that's what happens on August 3rd. Then August 24th, right here, it announces that they're going to be starting phase 2/phase 1/2 of the clinical trials. And, at this point, it had been going down a bit, but it steadies out. And this is also a point where a lot of other companies are starting to get farther in their developments. And this is where people are kind of getting into lockdown. We're starting to kind of figure out what life is like here. But nonetheless, this is where they announced their second trial phase. So phase 2, and it steadies out here. And I think this is important right here. And I'll tell you why in just a second. But this is where things become very significant. On December 28th, they announced that they'd be starting phase 3. And this is important because they're announcing phase 3, and they're announcing the efficiency within the United States and Mexico. So now in North America, not just in the world, in North America, they're starting to show some promising results. And as a result, we get this huge jump, but it doesn't stop just there. See, at this point, they've announced it and it's kind of peaked and dropped and peaked and dropped. And, at this point, it would stop. But right here is where I think it changed up a little bit. So right here. So on January 28th, and I know my bubbles are off a little bit. I couldn't quite get them right when I was trying to circle it. Either way, on January 28th, they announced that they were showing high results for phase 3 in the UK. And so I believe part of that international drive was a huge help with pushing up the fund here. But this is where it tops off right here on, it's right here. It's on February 1st. In February 1st, they announced that they were presenting the COVID-19 vaccine to the candidate data at a New York Academy of Science. And this was actually on February 2nd that we're going to do it. But on February 1st is where we had these huge buy-ins right here from the 25th through the 1st, large buy-ins on the vaccine, and that bumped up the price drastically. And so, we had that kind of up and down price spike right here. And that kind of brings us to today, where I wanted to point out this I guess, flat zone, if you will. So, technically not super flat, but I think that that's kind of similar to this one right here. I know it's a bit of a stretch, but the important thing is that today they announced that they have very high results, which means we could be looking at a fourth vaccine entering into the system. But more importantly, they announced that they would be focusing on using it internationally. So it says right down here, many of our first doses will go to low and middle income countries, and that was the goal to begin with. So this is what happened when they announced it in the US to the New York Academy of Science, or to a New York Academy of Science. That price jumped, like it jumped. It went from about $220 to $289 to almost $300, almost $80. And right now it's sitting kind of low. Imagine what will happen when it's released to the US public and then released internationally. Not only will this be driven by the US economy, it's going to be driven by international economies. I think that this right here is going to be big. And I think that this right here is somewhat of a gold mine. We can expect another jump like this without a doubt. I think that, that the international health system, in the US, the rates of COVID have been going down, but internationally, the numbers do not show that. And so if the vaccines start getting out there, if other countries such as India start using them, now the countries with really high rates of COVID, such as India, I think that's going to be a huge boost to this stock. And, I don't think that this opportunity is going to be available for too long. They're currently working on putting them out, but I think that if you buy in now, we can be expecting a huge return. And but anyways, these are my thoughts on it. I think that I know I'm going to be looking to invest in this. I think this is going to be a really big opportunity here. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Leave your thoughts below in the comments. I want to thank all the new subscribers. I appreciate all the support. Let me know what you guys want to see in the future. I will be looking to upload as often as I can. Like I said, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for future videos. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much.